camp is officially over, I guess. School started, back out of camp schedule. So make some get them on a new schedule. So today will be the first day of class. So it's a good day having an off day. So they can find all their classes, not worry about coming back to practice. Those are always tough days. I'm kind of glad they are like that, because you're just doing game week. And this first day of classes is everywhere I've ever been for some reason. If y'all can figure it out, let me know. Those are never great practice days when they have the first day of class. But anyway, it worked out perfect. We could have an off day. So, but excited about camp. Got a lot of young guys. I thought the last scrimmage, a lot of our young players really started grasping what we were doing offensively and defensively, and you could see them progress and playing with much more confidence, which is really what you have. You know, developing backups, things you have to have, and depth, and guys you feel comfortable about putting in games, whether it was on offense or defense. I thought the young defensive linemen really grew in their schemes and were allowed to play. They played faster than they did in the first scrimmage, and that comes from knowledge and confidence. Was very happy with that. Some of our younger receivers, some of our younger backs, some of our young secondary guys got in play, and got different positions, got mixed around, and you could just see them bouncing. Some of our young linebackers, I thought, again, all across the board, our young players in that second scrimmage, which was something I was really looking forward to seeing. How fast can they develop? How fast can you count on them with not just ability, but consistency of how they had to play? And like that, and where we were, camp the same way. The last couple of days of practice, I mean, like I say, there's been a grind on them. We've been grinding and pushing them, but guys feel much more comfortable in the rotations. Rotations have grown, and which is good. And you can rest a little bit of your varsity guys. I say your older guys, say varsity guys, older guys, letting them get some reps at times. So in that respect, I think our camp was a very good camp. I think there's a lot of great position battles that are still battling on as far as just the depth, and you feel good about playing multiple guys at corner, at receiver, at safety, at defensive line, all the positions, offensive line. Some of those young guys have, I've been happy with how they've progressed. Our young tight ends, I thought, have moved really well. Our young backs have done a very good job. Quarterbacks, all three quarterbacks, I thought, are playing well. Had really good days yesterday in practice and other days, and have worked a lot of situations, which you have to count on. The end of the game situation, I thought they've managed that good, managed the clocks good. Our team has in general, on offense and defense on both sides, trying to understand those situations. So from a situational football standpoint, I was very pleased how we've grown in the last week to 6, even before the first scrimmage, but then we started working them really hard, and you could see them really take a hold of it in the scrimmage, the second scrimmage, and then grow into it. And doing this week, we worked a lot of those situations. So excited about that. Camps went well. We'll start some game plan tomorrow and Friday, and have some things to do on Saturday, and then get back to a normal game week after that. So got a very good opponent coming. Sam Houston's they've lost one game, I think, in 2 years. They were undefeated last year until the quarterfinals, won the national championship before. We've got 6 transfers in. I know on defense alone. Offensively, they got quarterback from Georgia Tech and some others transfers in that group. So it's going to be a really good game. We have to get locked in and play, and keep developing our team where we go and get ready for the season.
Questions? Olin, second row.
Hi, Jimbo. Have you decided who your starting quarterback is?
No.
And have you? Well, let me put it. You don't know, or you're just not saying?
I haven't told you who my starting quarterback is.
When do you intend to make a decision? Have you decided that?
When I'm ready. No, when
might
I don't
you
know.
Be ready?
No.
Other questions? If not, all right, Justin. I was going to say, going to be quick today, guys.
Oh, I thought you were. My bad.
Sorry, back and back, Coach.
Coach, is it just too tight to call? How's the competition really evolved?
We're ready because I know we have a good idea what's going on, how it's going on. We watch practice every day, and we'll announce it when we're ready.
And side topic, you've had a lot of, I'm sure you always do this, but guest speakers coming in to talk. What's your philosophy behind that, and how do you think the players take that?
There's been a lot of successful people in the world in a lot of different ventures, not just ball. Some are businessmen. Some are just, great people. And listen to their message of why they're successful. I think the kids hearing a different voice, it's like hearing your parents' voice sometimes. The neighbor can walk over and say something to them after you've told them 100 times, and all of a sudden it's the greatest revelation in the history of the world. You know what I mean? And your own kid, you do it with your own kids. So, players like that, things you say, things they say. And I think the common denominator is that exist, and we learn things as coaches all the time. That's why we constantly talk with people on how you get points across, how you articulate what you're trying to say to get across, and how you do it, and or reasons you've had success, or even different than we've had success. So I think from that standpoint, I think it's great to hear multiple voices and multiple views of how people have been successful, different backgrounds they've been from, different situations they've been from, some very common with players, some not very common with players. So, I mean, I think all those venues, but how the common denominator is why they're being successful, how they've been successful, how they've overcame different things in their life, how they faced the challenges of social media, how they've tested the issues of mental health. A lot of successful people went through a lot of the same problems your players and people have each and every day. And I think providing more information and more people for them is a resource to help them grow as people and as athletes, and dealing with the pressures in which they live with today that we never had to when we were kids. I think it's great for them. And I think the different avenues of things, whether we have a Title IX speaker, whether we have guys, there's multiple views and situations we're trying to educate these guys from, because it's not just about balls, all the things that are going to go along with it, with their celebrity, with people knowing who they are, how they act, what they do. Dealing now with NIL situations, social media situations, how people have dealt with that when they were in pro ball. Just different things, and trying to grow their knowledge, and that a lot of people have been in their shoes before, and there's a lot of people we can gather information from and learn from.
Down front, Brent.
Jimbo, you said all three quarterbacks are playing well. How so? And does that make your decision more difficult, maybe in a good way?
Well, I don't know if it makes it more difficult. It makes you more confident in the scenarios of things that go on. As like you say, you have a multitude of guys that you think can play well and do things, and you're learning each guy, what each guy does well, what each guy doesn't do as well, and how you would call the game for him, how you call the game for him, how you call the game for the other third. So I think all three are growing, and like I say, when you have depth and you have guys that can play, it's a very good thing, especially at that position.
Front right, Cole.
Jimbo, just kind of focusing in on Haynes and Max. With Max having starting experience in the SEC and then Haynes kind of understanding your offense, does that maybe give them an advantage in your mind? Or
whoever plays the best, and rookies play all the time. Second-year guys play all the time. Experienced guys play all the time. It's who's playing best right now and gives us the best chance, we think, to be successful with some things we're doing.
Far left, Cease.
So would this be the latest you've named a starting quarterback in a season or not?
No.
You've done this before, Okay.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Okay.
Down front, Cole. Time for a couple more.
Jimbo, just out of curiosity, is there a chance to maybe where you start someone week one and then they're not the starter for the rest of the season?
In this business, you don't ever say that, but that's not the plan. They want to, hopefully the guy you name can play the whole season, but you feel very confident in the group of guys we have. If something happened to one of them, they got injured, they got banged up, or whatever happened, you got very, very good players to bring in.
Front left, Zach, and then Courtney.
Jimbo, that answers the question if a guy needs to be replaced, but have you ever gone into a season thinking, hey, we will have two guys playing alternately or anything?
I have
when was that?
I did at LSU in years. DeMarcus Russell, Marcus Randall. During those years, we had Rohan Davey and Josh Booty. They rotated doing games all the way up to third, fourth game. And guys got injured, and ended up guy having it, and then he ended up getting replaced at the end of the year, and the other guy. One of them made all conference, the other one got replaced and ended up being the starter. So, I've had multitudes. If you go through it many years, there's multitudes of guys. We did it with Damian Craig and Pat Nix. We had roles for Damian to come in, and we didn't. But there's other years we played the whole guy the whole year. So whatever gives us the best chance to win.
All right, Courtney, wrap us up.
Two quick questions then. One, you had mentioned each quarterback does something good, some do better than others. So
Some certain plays. There's certain
What's the
plays that certain
determining
guys
factor?
like, certain other plays like types of throws or whatever. But they all can do them all. But you all have favorites. Just like we can all do something, but a guy may like to throw a corner route better than a post route, or one guy may like to throw a post route better than a corner route. So things you just let them feel comfortable with.
So what's the determining factor for you?
Consistency and who gives us the best chance to win.
All right, Coach.
And then one more question real
okay.
quick. Could you evaluate Foster's performance so far and if Wyckoff has moved in front of him?
They're both playing. They're both doing a great job. We feel very comfortable with both guys. Foster he's played pretty well here lately. With much consistency, and so had Wyckoff. Wyckoff's had a really good camp, so we feel very comfortable with both guys.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
That's it. Thank you.